Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Hendo's Hot Topics. We're back. How are you doing? How's your week been? My week's been pretty busy. This weather doesn't help it at all, but it is what it is. Now, the origin of this topic came from the amazing chat that I had with Sophia from over at Take 10 from Men. Now, the platform she has and what she's using it for and what she's trying to do for men's mental health is absolutely just amazing. So, when my chat with Sophia drops, I'll be sure to share it on our page, and please go there and show her some love and support because I admire so much what she's doing. Now, the topic I'm going to be speaking about today, as you read by the title, is PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder. And just a heads up, I'm not going to be at all touching base on any possible triggers that may have occurred your PTSD or someone that you know's PTSD. What I'm going to be speaking about is what it is, a brief touch on what it is, how you as a friend or family member can support someone with PTSD, or if you're actually struggling with it yourself, I'm going to be just giving you some coping mechanisms that I've found that it's helped me acknowledge the feelings, acknowledge the threat of the fear, and has actually helped me defeat it over time. Now, what is PTSD? PTSD is actually a psychological reaction to experiencing or witnessing significantly stressful, traumatic, or shocking events. Now, the first thing off is that a lot of people tend to think that PTSD happens to those in the higher age spectrum, but the matter of the case is that it can actually endure to those at a very lower age. Now, the thing is, those that experience it at a younger age can actually carry it through their whole life if they don't actually find a way to cope with it. But that is just because of the society we live in. And you know for a fact, this is what we're trying to do with Hendo's Hot Topics. Whatever aspect of mental illness it may be, or mental health it may be that you struggle with, we know that the society we live in, it is very hard to connect with and be open and comfortable with how we're feeling. It's very hard to actually express how we're feeling in today's society. But in saying that, I'm very, very happy to see how much that is slowly starting to change. But in reality, there's a much less number of people who are comfortable with how they're feeling and feel like they can be open with how they're feeling compared to those who are open. So what you and I need to do here is with our podcast, we need to make that number of people who feel like they're not open and can't be comfortable with how they're feeling be a zero. We needed to make it 400% of people who struggle with mental health realize that it's actually bloody okay to feel how you're feeling. Now, how to support someone who may possibly be struggling with PTSD, or is struggling with PTSD. And the first thing off the bat is, it may sound cliche, but it's understand them. Understand them. What I mean by that is talk to them. Don't go into detail about what it is that brought on this PTSD. Don't talk about the events that they went through, but understand what their boundaries are, what their triggers are, what takes them back to that time and place that they don't want to go back to. I know from personal experiences, having someone who understands you and knows what brings back that fear, brings back that stress, brings back that unwanted, dark feeling of emptiness is such a weight off your shoulders. That's your light. That person is your light. They are that sign of hope with you. And all you need to be, if you're that friend or family member, all you need to be is understanding. You just need to be understanding there for them. And I can't say enough, and it may really sound cliche to you because it seems like it's nothing, but understanding what triggers them and what their boundaries are is so amazing. And just being there to be there for them when they want to talk is such an amazing feeling for that individual. Knowing what is acceptable and knowing what isn't acceptable, and that may even be a joke. I wanted to say that to you, that may seem like something that's little and just out of context, doesn't matter at all, but to them that could be the tip of the iceberg. It could just be a harmless joke that you make, or that you make around them, that without realizing it can actually trigger that event or pass. And that all comes with understanding and just understanding and talking and knowing their triggers and boundaries. Now, if you're the actual individual who feels or knows you struggle with post-traumatic stress disorder from something that happened earlier on, and hey, if you've listened to my story, you'll know that I had some things go on when I was younger, especially with the person who was my best friend at the time, that even now, even 12, 13 years down the line, even now, there's some little things that just make me go really quiet, because it brings back memories of that time, and it really, it feels entrapping. It feels like entrapment is the feeling of just everything's closing in on you, because you're back in that very moment that you don't want to be in. And I understand you 100%. And with this topic, is I really want to speak about it, but I really want to be careful about how I spoke about it. But I want to speak about it with meaning, and every topic I speak about is with meaning, because it's really important. It's really important to you, and it's something you have to live with on a day-to-day basis. And I want you to take away from this episode, and episodes in the past and future, with the topic that I speak about that you may be going through, is that it is bloody okay to feel how you're feeling. And if I can help you with whatever I say, realize that it's okay, then that is such an amazing thing on my behalf. I really want to speak about topics like this and be able to make you realize that it's so okay to feel how you're feeling, and then there's hope at the end of the tunnel. I've gone through just a smither of what you've gone through. Our stories are so different, and I can guarantee I've only gone through 1 or 2% of what you've gone through. And with what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help you realize that 1 and 2% is a bit of realization that there's someone else out there who knows, even in the slightest, that you're not alone. That I know how you're feeling in a way, and that we can relate on something and help you realize that you're not alone. And I bloody love you. And the fact is that I love you for the fact that you're so comfortable and open with your feelings, and that you can go out there and be so comfortable with your feelings. And if you're still trying to be so comfortable and open with your feelings, I want you to look at who's around you. I want you to look at your friends who are around you, because you need people around you who are going to support and encourage you to be open and connected to how you're feeling. Alright? And I love you. Now, I'm just going to be talking about now is some things that I've found and appealed to me for coping mechanisms. And the one that's really helped me, even in the recent few months, is it's really helped me with the fear of second guessing, self-doubting, and just anxiety and stress in general. And that's the 4-second breathing technique. You see all these fitness gurus talk about breathing techniques and all this yada yada yada, but this 4-second breathing technique is, I tell you what, after you've done that, you just feel like you're floating, and it's helped me so much. I thought it was silly till I did it, and it's helped me so much. So all it is you inhale for 4 seconds, you hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, and you just continue. Now, I just want to do it with you once or twice. So breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it, breathe out through your mouth slowly, hold it, breathe in, hold it, breathe out through your mouth, and hold it. I want you to do that rotational for 5 times, 5 times is all you need. Just 4 seconds in, hold, out, hold. 4 seconds each way, and trust me. Now, what I've found to do, and I feel helps me, and I want you to try it because it may help you, is visualize the breath that when you're breathing is going in through your nasal cavities, down your throat, through your diaphragm, into your stomach, and then back out. It's just doing a big loop. So it's going down when you're breathing in through your nose, and it's coming back out in a loop when you're breathing out. And that just really helps you to mind to muscle connect and just really connect to your body and focus on that moment. And tell me now, message me, do that 3 to 5 times, and you tell me if you just feel like you're floating afterwards, and all that stress has just gone away. The next and other coping mechanism I want to say is self-monitoring. What I mean by self-monitoring is be in tune to how you're feeling. Be connect and be aware of how you're feeling. Acknowledge it. Write it down. I write down on my notes, on my phone notes. I used to do voice messages, but I just write down my notes now. Any point of the day, how I'm feeling. If it gets to a point where I'm just really overwhelmed, I jot it down. If I'm stressed, I jot it down. Because you tend to find a pattern. And with that pattern, you can find what actually makes you feel that way. And with PTSD, it's not always triggering to that exact moment what happened. It can trigger of how you felt in that moment. Subconsciously, it can trigger how you felt. The overwhelming fear of afraidness, of anger, of fear, of sadness. It's not always the event, and I found that it's actually a lot more of how you're feeling, which brings back the event. So if you can subconsciously, hold yourself accountable and realize you're feeling this way before it triggers something, I want you to jot it down and find that pattern. Because in the long run, you can actually acknowledge this feeling, and you can actually go around that barrier and defeat it. Grow those stepping stones and defeat this feeling and push that event further back down the line. And it's not easy. By all means, it's not easy. It is not easy one bloody bit. But the more stepping stones and the more you tell that event, I'm not going to let you hold me down forever, before you know it, I'm gonna take these chains you've put on me, I'm gonna take these weights I'm gonna take off these weights you've put on me. Keep telling that moment that it's not gonna hold you back forever, because you are so capable of such an amazing life. You have such an amazing life ahead of you, And I really want you to be right now, be in tune and in connect to how you're feeling. Speak out loud and tell me right now how you're feeling. Get your phone out right now. If you're watching on your phone, exit this episode right now. Come back to it. But exit this episode right now and jot down your notes how you're feeling and what made you feel like this. Be in tune and be self-aware, self-monitor how you're feeling. And with this episode comes with what I say is realize that you're not alone. It's so easier said than done, and so many people say it. But with what I'm saying to you right now is I say what I say to you because I really want to help you realize that you're not alone like you think you are. You're really not alone, And it's so easy to get caught up in the mindset of right now you're so alone in the moment. But all it takes is for you to message me or message a friend and say, hey, I'm not doing well. I'm feeling really anxious, feeling really stressed, feeling, a bit depressed, feeling quite sad, quite afraid, quite weak. I need to chat to a friend and be open with yourself. Put out into the universe of being open with yourself. Be open to your friends. And as I said, find people who surround you. Friends especially, that are going to be supporting, encouraging, and create a comfortable environment for you to be open, just like what our podcast does. Find this comfort zone, this comfort circle, and safe haven outside of the podcast with your friends. It will help you so much in the long run. And you might say, Hendo, what do you mean? But it's because you probably haven't experienced that feeling yet with your friends. And once you do, I tell you what, man, life is such a beautiful thing. And don't get me wrong, you could be having an amazing day and then something might happen and might take you back a few steps. That's okay. As long as you acknowledge how you're feeling and acknowledge those feelings and think how to defeat these feelings, to how to build up and defeat them, you're so strong. You'll be so strong. And those chains and weights that event, sorry, I was trying to think of how to say that this event has put on you will slowly, one by one, get shorter and lighter. And it will take a while, or may take a while, but trust me, acknowledge these feelings and burn them down. Burn these feelings down by being open and connected with how you're feeling. what I want to say lastly is that it's okay to feel how you're feeling right now, and it's probably the same way how you've been feeling for the past 3+ years, 5+ years, however many years it may be. It may be the exact same feeling you're feeling, but I want to tell you right now that you're not a bloody burden, okay? Okay? You are so welcomed by me, by everyone in the HHT family, alright? If you don't have that feeling of love and secureness in your family, you come to this family and you speak about how you're feeling and you be open, alright? Okay, you message me if you need someone. This right here is a family. This right here is a family and a space where you can be open and build the self-confidence to realize that, hey, it's actually like, it doesn't bother me that I'm so frustrated, I'm really okay with my feelings, and I'm gonna do this today so I'm not as frustrated as I'm not sad. I'm gonna change this, Oh, hey Jonathan, man, I've had a bit of a bad day, man. Oh, yeah, that's all good. Let's talk about it. Yeah, thanks, man. Or how are you doing, Sarah? How are you doing? Are you alright? No, you're not doing alright. Okay, let's talk about it. We need to start making that change. And it's really difficult. I try to speak about all these things, and sometimes I find it so hard to put it into words because there's so much I want to put out there. But to wrap it up in a circle is I want to know that it is okay not to be okay. It is so okay not to be okay. And it's bloody okay to be in tune to how you're feeling. Alright? It is so okay. Now, I love you very much. And I hope you've taken something away from this episode. And please try that breathing technique. Please try it. And please try to write down your feelings when you're feeling them. Alright? I love you very much. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. Have an amazing day. Stay safe. Love yourself. And chat to me if you need anything. And always remember, do what makes you happy. Do what you know is right. And do what you need to do. Alright? I love you very much. And talk to you later. Love is lost.